What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, now that I've had a chance to play with the Rebellion set a couple of times in these tournaments, I've talked about it on the live streams. People have talked about it on the Mavericks channel in Discord. I want to address something that's been brought up or asked to me several times. I thought a video might be more appropriate. And that is Rebellion going to be OP? Is it going to make my Chaos Legion cards completely obsolete? Now, I've said this before. I've actually won the 2 tournaments that I've played in so far. Sorry, had to do a little bit of a flex there. But I've won the 2 tournaments that I've played. Great competition, though. Shout out to Rondon. Shout out to Royal Eagle. But the tournaments that I've played, I've won primarily using a lot of the same Chaos Legion strategies that I'm comfortable with, right? I just go back to old habits. I see a rule set, a mana cap, and I'm just like, oh, I know exactly what I want to do with this. Then, if I have some extra time, I'll look around to see if there's any new Rebellion cards that kind of make sense. But on the whole, Chaos Legion is still holding its own quite well. Now, here's a numbers kind of breakdown that I want to show you for that. And granted, I don't know all the cards for Rebellion as well. I've only gotten a chance to play with them very, very briefly. So it's kind of like exploring while, playing, which is not the best way to explore cards. So here's the thing. From a numbers perspective, though, I want to back this up. So if we take a look at all of the cards that are in the Chaos Legion set, right? So this includes the core, promo, reward, and Rift Watchers. It's 186 cards. Now I'm looking on the marketplace here though. So keep in mind that there are also the Soulbound reward cards. So if we go here to the Soulbound reward cards, there's another 43. So this comes out to like, I don't know, about we'll just call it like 230 or so. Now, when you add in what Rebellion could potentially be, so let's go in here, and they might have given the amount of Rebellion cards. I don't know if it's higher or lower than Chaos, but we're just going to assume that once all of the airdrops are out as well, it's probably going to be around the 100 card range. So you're looking at 100 cards for Rebellion out of a total 330-ish, right, for everything considered in Modern. So at this point in time, once Rebellion comes out, Rebellion's only going to be about 30% of the playable cards in game. And I think what you'll end up finding is that people will gravitate towards the summoners, right? And that's really no surprise. I mean, that is the selling point of the set, right? They have the tactics, they got some dual element stuff that they've been teasing. So there is that aspect of it where summoners, I think, are going to be very highly desired just because that is the new mechanic within the game, the one that is revolutionary for Rebellion. But when it comes to your units, right, there's a lot of units available that people are way more comfortable with and have leveled up already of Chaos Legion, and I think those cards are going to hold their value relatively well. Sorry, let's not talk about value here. I think those cards are going to hold their own in battle relatively well. That's not to say that there's probably going to be some great cards, unit cards for Rebellion, but I think Chaos Legion is going to be fantastic on its own, and I feel like I've kind of proven that with the couple of tournaments that I've played so far. And I think everybody, once you see all the cards out there, again, it's not to downplay the Rebellion units. It's just to say that Chaos Legion is going to hold its value well. Now, that's on a unit perspective. On a summoner perspective, as I was saying earlier, the way that it's designed, to me, like the Chaos Legion summoners, right, the Chaos Legion set, so that includes everything, they are still quite powerful, especially when you consider all the mana caps and stuff that are going to be coming in and the mana that these new summoners will be at. The very specific abilities that you get for either your rare or your legendary summoners across all of the Chaos Legion set, right? So your core, your promo, your Rift Watchers, and of course the reward summoners too, right? The Soulbound summoners bringing in gladiators is still quite powerful, especially at the lower leagues. But again, that's kind of getting outside, the broader meta. Overall, I would say that I was still relying heavily on a lot of the Chaos Legion set summoners just because I knew them, I knew what to expect, I knew the synergies. That may change as more people jump in when the set is released and they find new combos, new synergies, whatever the case is. But overall, it was very comforting for me to see that Chaos Legion was holding its own relatively well. So for all the people here who are worried about, I won't be able to compete with Chaos Legion, just keep in mind, from a numbers perspective, like you still have 70% of all of the playable cards. So sure, and I've said this before, right? And I think it's gonna prove to be the case again. What Rebellion is going to be is the new Untamed, where Rebellion cards are going to be scarce, and whoever has them is going to have a little bit of a competitive advantage because whatever the specific rule set, they may have the perfect card that you don't. But the best part, comparing it to Rebellion, or comparing Untamed to Rebellion, is that anybody can go out and buy these cards. The packs are going to be on sale in the store for $4 plus vouchers, right? 4,000 DEC plus vouchers for the foreseeable future, right? There's still going to be 9.5 million of them after the pre-sale is done. So it's unlike Untamed, where you have to go and buy a pack for like $80, hope that you get a kitty, and do that 11 times so that you get a max kitty, right? That's just not going to happen. But with Rebellion, the cards being available is kind of going to flip the paradigm, where everybody who wants to be competitive now has the opportunity to do so at a much more affordable buy-in price. Not to mention, right, Untamed, there just weren't that many cards. There weren't that many packs in general. With Rebellion, you're going to have 10 million packs, or we'll just say 9.5 million packs after the pre-sale is over. And there is a clock ticking, right? So it's not going to be forever, but at least for the next year or so, you will have the opportunity. We will have the opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm getting beat by this card so much. Let me just open some packs. Let me see what I can get. They're $4 instead of, I think it was going for like $80. Untamed at that time, I remember it was going for like $80, and people were buying Untamed cards hoping that they get a llama or a Kron or a kitty or something, right? Or Jotun. So at this point, I just want to kind of reiterate that I think Chaos Legion is going to hold its own in the new modern meta. We'll see how that changes as maybe Rebellion reward cards get introduced, Rebellion promo cards get introduced, and of course, whatever the mini set that's going to be like the follow-up to Rift Watchers ends up being. But that's all like, I don't know, at least 6 to 8 months away, 6 to 9 months away from the point at which Rebellion launches and Modern switches over. So just sharing that with you guys. Curious to get your thoughts. If you have any other feedback or questions, do let me know, and I'll try to share as much as I can without, of course, getting myself into any trouble. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.